The only constant in life is change. This doesn't just apply to your life, it applies to your career as well. The challenge with changes in our career is it often comes at a time where we least expect it. We're paying our mortgage, our cell phone bill, our rent, our car bills, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're laid off, restructured, or furloughed. That's the thing. Sometimes we think all is good with a company. We don't know the struggles that are happening behind the scenes. And then all of a sudden, when we picture our life there forever, for a long time, we think we're going to build our career path there, we get that notice. It's like the rug was pulled right out from under us. I'm here to tell you that you will be okay, things will be fine, and honestly, they can be a blessing in disguise a lot of the times as well. In this video, I'm going to provide you with real strategies and concrete ways that you can prepare for a potential layoff, restructuring, or furlough and get back on your feet today. By the way, hey, what's up? My name is Courtney, and I'm the founder and career coach at 𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓𝗓, where we help professionals maybe like you go from stuck or unemployed in their career to landing great, oftentimes six-figure career roles. Hit that subscribe button because we are super committed to putting out great quality content to help you level up in your career. Being in HR for over 11 years now, I've personally seen a lot of furloughs, layoffs, and restructures happen. And honestly, I've had to deliver that message more times than I'd like to admit. And even myself, I have been part of a layoff too, so I know the feels. That's why I want you to grab a glass of coffee, wine, or water and join me while we navigate your career through layoffs, restructuring, or furloughs. Let's start off to understand better what exactly are restructures, layoffs, and furloughs. Diving deep into the first one, restructuring. Restructuring can take various forms, such as financial, cultural, strategic, organizational, operational structuring as well. Operational restructuring, for example, often hones in on different parts of the business where they can improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the business's core products. This may be where you will see re-engineering of workflows or implementing different technologies, different ways that they can essentially improve the operations of the business. As such, those that touch more of the operations of the business are more likely to be laid off, furloughed, or restructured. If you take a manufacturing company of car wheels, for example, somebody that may be on more of the production line of work may be more subject to layoffs or restructuring in an operational capacity with new technology, especially AI these days, or robots, things that often are known to replace the workforce or labor. They may be more subject to those layoffs. Another one is strategic restructuring. This may be where a company is focused on long-term growth of a company, and therefore when they look at different business units or business entities under one umbrella of a company, they may choose to go in one direction, meanwhile a company or a unit or a team is in this direction. So you can understand if a company is wanting to go this way and you are currently sitting this way, then you may be subject to one of those three things: restructuring, layoff, or furlough. Let's look at number 2, layoffs. Layoffs are essentially known as redundancies or downsizing. It's a way for a company to cut costs by looking at their labor and really understanding where can they terminate employees. Layoffs can affect a small portion of employees, or I've also seen them affect a large group of employees as well. Layoffs can happen for a lot of different reasons. For example, economic downturns, innovative solutions that often replace the skilled workers of certain employees, declining revenues, mergers or acquisitions, outsourcing or shifting of demands. This is why innovation and technology is great, but if you think about it, businesses do get affected, and when businesses are affected, then people are often affected as well. Now let's look at number 3, furloughs. Furloughs are temporary leaves of absences granted from the employer to employees. Unlike layoffs, where employees may permanently lose their role, a furloughed employee often is on a temporary leave for a certain period of time. Furloughs are often used by companies to duck and cover for certain financial challenges in a certain period of time. The hope with furloughs is that they can make it through that tough period of time and bring people back to the workforce. However, much like we saw with COVID-19, sometimes it takes a really long time for a business to recover and they can't stay furloughed forever. So this sometimes does mean that you will get your job back, and sometimes it means it will be a permanent effort. Now, looking at all three of these situations and looking at the world economics right now and really the business landscape, the bad news is rising inflation is still a thing. Businesses are still recovering post-pandemic, and businesses are still facing very high costs to their products or services. The good news is, however, no matter what happens, you can come out on the other end of a layoff, restructure, or furlough in a way that preserves your career or even propels it as well. Hindsight is always 20/20, and it's really hard to see the blessings in disguise often when we are going through the emotions. But as somebody that's been in HR, recruitment, and career coaching for 11 years, I've seen a lot of professionals do great on the other end. In fact, they use this time to actually advance in their career instead. So let's let that be you. So now let's talk about some ways to potentially prepare for a furlough, layoff, or restructure and ensure that you always land on your feet every single time. So if you are currently still employed, number one, let's start by showcasing your value as an employee. So if you see that a furlough, restructure, or layoff may potentially be coming down the pipe in your organization, let's start off by reinforcing your personal brand in that workforce. Take some time to truly reflect on yourself. Are you known in your workplace right now as a big problem solver or somebody that's super organized? Maybe you are the cultural champion, or maybe you are known as somebody that brings a lot of people together. What is your personal brand, and how can we get clear on that? Once you are more clear on your personal brand, it's a good time to start reinforcing that. And how you can do that, for example, is in team meetings. You can reinforce how you are known for teamwork. You can reinforce how you are the team's organizer. You could reinforce that brand on LinkedIn. Figure out ways to constantly communicate that brand and reinforce the positive things that I know you're known for today. Next, identify the skills or experiences that you have that are most valuable to the employer during this time. Maybe if you know that your company during this challenging time needs more sales, then you can talk about your revenue generating skills. If you know your company needs to cut costs, then maybe you can talk about ways that you are more efficient or effective, or ways that you found cost redundancies and made sure that they didn't happen again. Or maybe your company really needs technological advancements to get them through this challenging time. So talk about how you have those tech skills. Do you see what I'm saying here? Even me saying these examples out loud, I'm already thinking, wow, if an employee came to me talking about the skills that we really needed during economic challenging times, I would think of them as highly valuable. Now, once you are more clear on your brand and that you've reflected on the skills and experiences that your employer really needs during this time, start sharing it with leadership. Because senior leaders are often the ones who decides who stays and who goes during this time, make sure you are vocal about what you just wrote down on your skills, experiences, and your brand. Don't wait for them to come to you. Have those meetings. Share that during your one-on-one time. Be proactive and truly advocate for yourself. Now, if you are not one of those lucky few that can often see the writing on the wall when it comes to potential furloughs, layoffs, or restructuring, and you've already been given that notice that here it is, you are no longer with us, it is time to, number 2, start your job search. Now, don't get me wrong, take a few days to truly process the notice that you were just given about your career and really reflect on what happened. But as soon as you can, let's start those job search activities. What I mean by this is let's really start brain dumping all those skills and accomplishments you truly do have from your years of experience plus the role that you just ended with. Think about it. Where did you make the company money, save the company money, or make somebody's life easier? Don't be afraid to truly take out a journal and a pen and really brain dump all of this. Next, partner with a resume writer to make a really clear resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn profile that establishes you as a subject matter expert in your field. One of my biggest pet peeves with looking at hundreds or thousands of resumes is people are not clear on their value and they position themselves as this generalist. And the reason why it bothers me so much is they are leaving it up to the recruiter, the ATS, or the HR professional or hiring manager to guess what they're wanting. Don't be that person. Don't leave the guesswork to the other person or the system on the other end. Get clear on what you want, what kind of professional you are, and the skills that align with that one line of work. Once you feel like you have a really powerful resume, cover letter, or LinkedIn profile, then it's time to start applying online. Visit all the major job boards and make sure you're tracking every role that you're applying for. And the reason for that is because we want to ideally, in the next part here, start networking with the people that we just applied for. So if you just applied for a customer service representative role within Netflix, then if you're tracking that, we can try to network with somebody in Netflix to say, hey, I would love to grab a coffee with you, and then talk about your interest in that role. Number 3, make use of career coaches and recruiters. It's honestly crazy how many people don't make use out of these two professionals. Career coaches are here to really help you brain dump your value, your skills, and get you thinking about different ways that you can land your next career role. Also, headhunters or recruiters truly make money off of you. They need to place great candidates much like yourself on the other end of this camera so that they can get paid. So not utilizing recruiters is a big gap, and a lot of people don't know how to truly get a hold of recruiters. So this is again where a career coach can guide you through the messaging to get a hold of them, understanding how you can make lists, and then getting in touch with recruiters, or even popping by their office. The number 4 way to navigate your career through restructuring, furloughs, or layoffs is to attend industry-specific networking events. I'll never forget a recent HR industry-specific networking event I went to, and one of the other people in that same event actually put up his hand and said, I am looking for an HR manager. We really need that. If anybody here is looking for an HR manager role, let me know. Now, if I was an HR professional looking for an HR manager role, then I would have been the first one talking to that person. And guess what? If I was a good fit, I might have had a job offer within 1 week. That's how powerful industry-specific networking events are. You could be having a conversation today and having a job offer in the next 1 week. It really takes good research, or maybe even using 𝗓𝗓𝗢𝗓 to compile a list of those industry-specific networking events and really attending them. And these events, by the way, can be online or offline. You don't have to only rely on Zoom nowadays to get a hold of people. A lot of events are back on, so you can figure out ways that you can go to these industry-specific events. Plus, more than ever, humans are craving in-person, real time with others. So yes, figure out ways that there may be online ones you could attend to, but what are the in-person ones that you can just make some business cards or print off your resume and show up to today? Okay, I hope these 4 ways help you navigate your career through layoffs, restructuring, or furloughs. As I said, be sure to subscribe to this channel. I really appreciate it. It helps motivate me to keep on going. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'm here to help you. We'll see you in the next video.